electricity under your NCERT textbook, chapter 12, electricity. So basically, what comes to your mind when you hear a word called electricity? Generally, basically you can think in your common sense. Electricity means power. That is what you know. Power hoy tu, power bandu. So what is power? Power is something which makes something work, which makes something efficient. So electricity is something which makes your electric devices work. So if you just switch on a fan, your fan turns on, your television turns on, your mobile starts charging. So are you not fascinated about knowing how these things actually work? So this is all is happening because of a term called electricity. Electricity is a nice topic. You can relate the topic in your daily life. It becomes very easier. So what is electricity? Electricity is a convenient and controllable form of energy. What is energy basically? Energy is something which makes you work, which gives you energy. So this is an energy which is convenient. What do you mean by convenient? You can use it when it is required. You can use your television only when you want it. You can charge your phone when it is required. So it is very convenient. You don't have to use it all the time. Also it is controllable. Yes, controlling electricity is in your hands. You can switch off the fan when you don't want it. You can switch on it when you want it. So it is easy. C and C. Convenient and controllable form of energy. Next can be, the basic example can be taken as torch. So how do you think torch produces light? Just by clicking on a switch, torch gives light. So what does that switch do? You all have torch in your home, right? So what is a switch basically? Maybe your regulator or fan switch or a switch in torch. So torch is a link between cell and the bulb. Bulb can be your torch or your light or anything. Cells are the electronic charges present in your electrical circuit. So switch acts as a link between these two. So when you on it, they send the link and your electricity gets on and off similarly. Next is, what is the electrical circuit? I told you about switch, which is a link between cell and bulb. Now what is the circuit? So the continuous and closed path of current. Only if a current is flowing in a closed path, it is called as electronic circuit. If the current breaks down, then no, you won't get any power, then it cannot be called as electrical circuit. For any circuit to be called as electrical circuit, it is must that it should be continuous and closed. Continuous means there should be no breakage in between. Closed means the complete, simple, a closed path where your current can flow. Now what is this current? You learnt about electricity, which is a continuous and convenient form of energy. Now what is this current? This current is making your electricity work. So basic definition of current can be charge per unit time. So what is current? Current can be defined as the number of charges flowing through a circuit per unit time. So this formula is very important. So exam definitely will get 1 marks based on this problems. If you just know this formula, you can easily crack your problems. So I is equals to Q by T. Please note down this point, very important. So what does I stand here? Current. I is a scientific notation for current, capital I. And Q is a notation for charge and T is for time, simple. So what is I? Q by T. You can use this vice versa. If you are given I and if you are given T and if you are supposed to find Q, you can use the formula. So what happens to Q? Your I goes there. So formula for Q will be I into T. So this is how when you have to form charge. This is when you will have to find current. So simple, same formula in 2 different ways. So this is about current, very important for 1 marks. Next, we have something called SI unit. So how do you measure your age? If I ask you what's your age, what will you tell me? 10 years, 11 years, etc. So your age is measured in terms of years. Similarly, there are many SI units in electrical components to measure various units. So what is current? How will you tell what is the current andre? So it is amperes. The SI unit of current is ampere. Similarly, the SI unit of charge is coulomb. So what is 1 coulomb? Coulomb is a SI unit of charge. So you might be asked for a definition in your exam. So simple. What is a coulomb? Coulomb is a amount of charge flowing in a circuit per unit time. For per second, how many charges are flowing in your circuit. That gives you 1 coulomb value. Basically, this is a noted value. So 1 coulomb value is 6 into 10 to the power of 8 electrons. Now what are these electrons? Electrons are the elements which are very necessary for producing charges. So without this electron there are no charges. So what is 1 coulomb? 6 into 8 to the power 10 to the power of 8 electrons flowing in a circuit. Similarly, what is the SI unit of current? Ampere. So 1 ampere is equals to, you can derive the SI unit from this formula only. What is current? Charge by time. What is the SI unit for charge? 1 coulomb, correct? What is the SI unit of time? How would you measure time? On seconds. Basic SI unit of time is second. So 1 coulomb flowing per 1 second of time gives you 1 ampere. Simple. Using this one formula, you can derive a SI unit for current also. So which is 1 coulomb by 1 second. Simple. You can define it in the same way. Now your current can be in microamps, milliamps. These are very small values of current. Micro value is 10 power minus 6 amps. Milli means 10 power minus 3 amps. You might have been given in your question, current flowing is 10 microamps or 3 milliamps. So you will have to take this value. 10 microamps implies 10 into 10 power minus 6 amperes. 3 milliamps represent 3 into 10 power minus 3 ampere. So we are good till now. Now what is the direction of this current? How does current flow in a circuit? Assume this is a closed path. So how does current flow here? Please note that this is very important. Current always flow from positive to negative terminal. Next definition is potential. You came across all the definitions of current, electricity. Now it is potential. Very important. In your basic English, what is potential? So what comes to your mind when you hear a word potential? Means strength or your capability. Somebody's capability. What's your potential? Andre? What's your capability? What's your strength? Similarly, what is potential in electricity? Potential is a pressure applied on charges to make them flow. So I told you get electricity only when charges flow inside the circuit. So for electricity, the charges must flow in order to produce your electricity. If there are no charges flowing around, we would not be able to get electricity. No lights, no fans, no television, so life would be very hard, right? So in order to make this charges flow, we want a pressure. This pressure is called potential. Simple. So what is potential? Pressure applied on charges to make them flow. So simple, to make them work. So this is about potential. Now what is potential difference? What do you mean by difference? When you compare two quantities, you find out the difference. Difference between this and this is so and so. Similarly in electricity, a difference may be potential between any two terminals of a circuit. So difference between two potential of a circuit is called potential difference. Now coming to formula. What is the formula for potential difference? You should be very careful with the notations, children. So how was current represented? By I. How was charge? By Q. Similarly, potential difference is represented by a letter called V. Capital V. Don't write small v. Small v stands for velocity. You should be very careful. You might lose your marks. So potential difference is V, which is represented by V. So what is potential difference? What we study is work. We are making something work by applying potential. So work, W, work stands for W, per unit charge. So work done by a unit charge is called potential difference, potential of the circuit. So how much work can a circuit do on a certain charges can define its potential. Simple. Now SI unit. What does SI unit stand for? Please recall. So SI unit of potential is volts. V-O-L-T-S, volts. So how will you define 1 volt? 1 volt is same. Like what you did for current, use the same formula, apply it here. What is the unit for work? How would you measure work? By using joules. 1 joules, 2 joules. So 1 joule. And what was the unit for charge? Please recall. I told you. What was the unit for charge? Coulomb. Correct? So 1 joule by 1 coulomb gives you 1 volt. So easily you can define. If you have any difficulty in defining, just write down this formula. 1 volt divided by 1 volt is equals to 1 joule divided by 1 coulomb. Now define it in your proper statement. So 1 volt can be defined as 1 joule of work done on a 1 unit of charge. So that can be called as volt. So this is just a notation. Joule, when C comes, it becomes joule per coulomb. This is just for your reference. You don't have this in your syllabus. Now we have something called altimeter and ammeter. All of you might be knowing about thermometer. So what does thermometer do? Measure your temperature. When you go to hospital, they keep thermometer on your mouth and they test your temperature. So that is used to test your temperature. Similarly, there are two main instruments in electronics which should to test voltage and current. So what are they? Voltmeter, as the name suggests, voltmeter is an instrument used to measure voltage. Simple. Volt, voltage, easy. Now ammeter. Ammeter is a device which is used to measure current. So voltmeter for voltage, ammeter for current. So please write it down, children, don't forget it. Okay, so please note down all the formulas given till now. I have given you two important formulas, one on I and one on V. So I hope you have all noted that down. Now let's go through the problems. So first, if you read and understand the complete question, 50% of solution is solved. You'll just have to apply the formula and solve it. Now let's go to the problem. A current of 0.5 amps. So I told you, ampere is the unit for what? Current. That you should know. That is why I told you it is important. Moreover, it is given in question now, but in future you'll have to know what does ampere stand for. Now, a current of 0.5 amp is drawn from a filament of a bulb. Assume you have a bulb at home. So that bulb is drawing how much of current? 0.5 amperes of current. So that bulb is giving you 0.5 amps current for 10 minutes. So you are switching on your light or a bulb for 10 minutes. So that is giving you 0.5 amperes. What are you supposed to find? Find the amount of charge in the circuit. So what are you supposed to find? Charge. So what was the formula I gave it to you? So what was the formula for current? I is equals to Q by T. So what does I stand here? Current. Do we have current value? Yes. What does Q stand for? Charge. Do we have charge value? No. We are supposed to find charge. T is for time. Do we have time? Yes. 10 minutes. So before proceeding, we should seriously look through the units. That is why I told you units are very important. So what was the standard unit for current? Amperes. So yes, we have it in amperes, no problem. What was the basic SI unit I told for time? Seconds. So SI unit for time was seconds. But what do we have in question? Minutes. So how do you convert minutes into seconds? Simple. What does 1 minute is equals to in terms of seconds? 60 seconds, correct? 1 minute is equals to 60 seconds. But we have 10 minutes here. So 10 minutes is equals to how many seconds? 10 into 60. 10 into 60, which is 600 seconds. So I got my time now in terms of second. So 10 minutes is equals to 600 seconds. So let me take this input and solve it here. So I want Q. So keep Q this side and send all the terms to another side. So Q becomes I into T. What is I? 0.5. What is T? 600. Please don't consider this in minutes. Your answer will go wrong. So it is 600. So please solve and tell me the answer. You don't have to write the complete coulomb. You can just write C, capital C. So, coulomb. I hope you are all clear with this problem. Ready? Please copy down. Okay, let us go to the second question. So this question was on current. Simple. Whatever your question is, you just use this formula. Sometimes they might give you charge and they might ask you current. Simply use this formula. Put Q, charge value, put time. If it is in minutes, same conversion, simple conversion. If it is in second, don't convert, put it here. Just use this formula and proceed for any kind of problem. This is one type. And this is, please go through the question. How much work is done in a moving charge of 2 coulomb? So my moving charge, what does 2 coulomb means? Coulomb means charge. So which is nothing but Q. So what is given? My Q is given. So Q is 2 coulomb across 2 points having a potential difference of 12 volt. So I told you, how do you represent potential difference? Using capital V. So my V is given to be as 12 volts. So what is asked? Work is asked. So I hope you have noted down this formula, right? I told you before. So first write down what is given. What is given? Q is given, V is given. Simply apply it here. What are you supposed to find? Work. So my work becomes voltage into charge. So what is my voltage? 2 coulomb. No changes, 2. What is my voltage? 12. Yeah, you can, not a problem. So what is my voltage? 12. What is my charge? 2. So what is 12 into 2? Yeah, 24. So 24. What is the unit I told for work? Joules. So just write capital J. So what is my work done? Capital J. Simple? Is it simple? Since there was no time here, there is no conversions here. Directly you can use the formula. Whatever is given, whatever is asked, just use this formula, write it. I hope you were all clear with the past 2 problems. So these are 4 problems for your homework. Please solve it. So these are same like your previous problem. So if you can solve this, 2 marks is in your pocket very easily. So please solve it using the same 2 formulas. So understand the question. This is same like first question. A current of 0.2 amps is drawn of a bulb for 8 minutes. Now you are supposed to find the charge just like other. So just write down what is given. I and T is given and what is Q. Use the formula, find it out. Second question. A charge of 5 coulomb is flowing in a circuit. You have a circuit wherein 5 coulomb of charge is flowing for 16 seconds. Now you are supposed to find the current. Previously current was given, you found out charge. Now they have given you charge and time, find out current using same formula. I is equals to Q by T. So solve it, you will get an answer. Next. How much work is done in a moving charge of 6 coulomb across 2 points if potential difference is 30 volts? Same like your previously done second problem. Charge is given, potential difference is given. Find out work using formula work. Next, in this question you have potential difference. You are supposed to find potential difference, which is represented by capital V, wherein charge of 9 coulomb and work of 12 joules is 15 joules is given. So you have energy, you have charge. What are you supposed to find? Potential difference. Simple using same formula. I will ask you the answers in the next session. So I want all of you to solve it with proper units. Just don't write me work is 15, charge is 10. I want with proper units or else you will definitely lose marks. So please go through this everything. Any doubts, you can get back to me. Thank you.